directions. We didn't think of the sorry about that. You were talking to The next song that we're going to do for you is part of a collection that True One Levine has been working on over the past few years in partnership with Washington State Parks, and the folklorist from the parks, Michaela Croyne, is here. So, hey, Michaela. And this project was one that came about, started many years ago. I was looking through my kids' elementary social studies books and saw that our community wasn't really represented in the history books, and so that's how this project came into being. And the first song that we did as part of that project, this next song is also part of the project. It's called La Pizca del Oeste, and it is in honor of the farm workers that fill our tables, that fill our bellies, and really are part of the economic engine for the state. And this song is arranged in the style of corrido because corridos are used to tell epic stories of heroism and amazing achievements. And in our mind, the work of the farm workers is an amazing achievement, and they are to be honored and respected. La Pizca del Oeste.
Migrantes de la nación mexicana, del campo trabajadores, que duras las jornadas. California y Arizona, Texas por mencionar, hago aquí mi rendición a mi querido Washington. Guerreros de Murrieta, somos muy buenos vaqueros, y el vivir de la labor siempre ha sido nuestra meta. Canten pájaros del monte, temprano por la mañana, y diviso el horizonte para Punta la Manzana. Hemos piscado algodón, todo lo que sea raíz es también de nuestra acción. De aquí más la nación y Washington el estado tiene la recepción, porque yo de Michoacán yo he venido, cruzando valles y sierras, dando brazo partido, también ya vino en mi tierra. En ciertos estados sobra nuestra fuerza del trabajo, y el campamento de abajo, y el desierto miras cobra, acero a mí me nombra, a donde mi labor falta, se
welcome back to the stage, Claudia Castro Luna.
Thank you. Can we give him another round? This next poem that I'm going to read talks about a return to the place, the house where I grew up in a very small town in Western El Salvador. My sister was born there, and many decades later, my grandmother passed away in this house. I really loved the performances, focus and aiming on the internal migrations that we have seen in this country too. It's not just people coming, which is the history of this country from all over the world, but also people who have been displaced inside of it. Native peoples who were forced to march to other locations that were completely different from the places where they had lived for millennia. African Americans who were brought to the deep south forcibly, and then that movement north. Sometimes you migrate and you get to return. Some people migrate and they never get to return. They have a longing for the place they left. So this poem talks about a return, and it's also a poem about the way in which places also remember. People remember, we remember, but the soil remembers. Walls remember, trees remember. The earth is alive, right? And so when we go back, those memories are held in place, not just in our minds and in our hearts, but also in the very locations, in the water, in the earth, in the trees. So this is titled, Sometimes You're Permitted a Return. Chalice of sunshine, my childhood home, adobe walls for the imagination, roof of memory by way of longing. When after 30 years I returned to it, I stared past guilt and sadness at the armature, the structure upon which I am built. There, on the tile floor, rubble of a long ago broken cup, and along the veranda, echoes of all laughter, scent of fig and bitter orange still hanging mid-air like suspended confetti from a happily broken piñata. My abuela's superstitions and remedies sleeping in the old kitchen, stacked wood ready for the next fire. The things of this house I did not know I needed to find my way out of the labyrinth of exile. Had I known of bitter and cold, I would have stashed ash and flour into my pockets. But we did not know how to read the palms of our hands. We knew only what we didn't want, which was death. We wanted future, to open our mouths, taste sugar, make words. Thank you.
Wow. That was so beautiful. That really resonated with me. When you said people move across the globe for many different reasons, but then we long for home. And that's my story. My family and I were refugees from Cambodia. We arrived here to Washington State in 1981. Just 50 years ago, the Washington State accepted its first Southeast Asian Vietnamese community here. You can clap it up for that. So we've been here for 50 years. We made this our home. My family and I escaped the genocide. So myself, am a genocide survivor. We escaped the brutal Khmer Rouge regime, who murdered about an estimated 1.2 million to 2 million, two-thirds of the population, whatever the number is. There was a lot of people that perished under the brutal regime. And we're seeing patterns of the same things happening today. And it just really bothers me. And I had a conversation with a colleague of mine who's a Black woman, strong, smart, and just so powerful. I said to her, I can't wait to move back to Cambodia. And she says, that's great, that's a privilege that you have because I don't have a home. I was brought here against my will. I say all that just to say that my family and I found community here. We found a village here. We took care of each other. My parents worked their ass off in the farm. I was picking strawberries when I was 8 years old. So America and what this country stands for is opportunity, and we can't let this current moment define us. We can't let our past define us. But seeing all you here this evening, enjoying the music, discussing, and just being in community together is what we need to come together and move forward past this. It's not going to be easy, but we outnumber. We are the majority. Immigrants is what makes this country great.
That's right.
Believe that. And earlier this week, the UN Human Rights Commission designated the violence in Gaza as a genocide-level event. For all who have experienced loss of life in this sad chapter, resident Palestinians and Israeli hostages alike, we will offer the next song that comes to us from the ancient traditions of Muslim Spain before the Inquisitions. And after this next song, we'll take a short break. Thank you all. Give it up. Trio Guadalupe, y'all. Thank you. And now we'll take a 10-minute intermission. So come back in 10 minutes. I'll meet you at the bar. I'll buy you a drink.